Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah. I am an artist. I make knitting notions and well, I kind of like knitting and I like to share that knitting here on YouTube with you. Today I am sharing all of my summer makes that I currently have in my wardrobe. That comes to a grand total of 11 items. I will try to go through and give the size of each item, the yarn, other little details. If I forget something or there's a detail you maybe have a question about, put it down in the comments. Chances are I get a little chatty and I may forget to mention certain details. Also, do tell me, are you a summer knits type person or do you prefer just knitting fall winter things or accessories during the summer? I'm a mix of both. I like my summer things, but really I am a lover of all the fall and winter knit. Which, by the way, just in case you may have missed my last video, I am doing a summer knit along for sweaters or other fall winter garments. So if you are a person who likes to knit those things in the middle of summer like I do, feel free to join that knit along. It will be happening on Instagram, but if you're working on something, drop it down in the comments and we can engage here as well as Instagram. And you can use this hashtag because I'm drawing a blank on what it is. It's here on the screen for you. It's been one of those weeks, people, but you know, life goes on. So without further ado, let's get into all the things I've made. And just for reference, I am on average, not always, because you know, our bodies fluctuate. I am usually about a 33-inch full bust and am 5'6" tall with a short torso and long legs. So this area, like neck to bust is pretty short, and then yeah, just short torso, long legs, 33-inch bust. Let's start with t-shirts, mainly because I've come to the conclusion that I don't really like knit t-shirts. Maybe it's just the ones I've knit, but even on other people I just kind of feel about them. So yeah, I only have 2 in my wardrobe and I'm on the fence about how I feel about them. The first shirt I have is the Tolsta Tee by Rebecca Clow, the Crayabea. She is here on YouTube and Instagram and all the things. And I knit this out of Mayflower, which is I don't know if that's the brand or not. I bought it from Hobbii a couple of years ago. It's a cotton and merino 50-50 blend. And yeah, so Tolsta is one of those like patterns where it's customizable, etc. Any pattern is customizable though, if you watch my channel, because I like to make changes to all the things. So, but anyways, I did folded arms and collars for mine. I do think I didn't add enough short rows. I don't know if I don't remember why I don't have more short rows, but I do feel like it needed maybe 1 or 2 more short rows, just to add a little bit more height to the back. But yeah, I tried this on and I haven't worn this except for maybe once or twice, and every time I've worn it I feel kind of about it. But then when I tried it on for this video, I was looking at myself and thinking, this actually isn't that bad. Why didn't I like this? And then as I was wearing it, I began to remember why I don't wear it. It looks good, but one of the things is the armband. I have elastic in here so that it doesn't flare out, but it's a little too tight, so it squeezes my arm. So I need to remove that elastic and put in a skinnier, lighter thread in there. And the other thing is the yarn. It's a little bit itchy. It's a merino and cotton, I love cotton. It's smooth. I've never had an itchy cotton before. And the merino, it has to be the merino, and it's itchy. And I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is, but it wasn't comfortable to wear. I did not enjoy it at all. I was sitting there thinking like, oh, this looks good, but oh my gosh, what is the problem here? So yeah, I do like the fit of this. I think what I'll do is remove the elastic from this and see how we feel about it in fall. I think maybe I would wear it then, maybe a little bit more end of summer when it's maybe a little bit cooler. So maybe the itch factor will leave, but I don't know. So, Tolsta Tee, I don't know. Should we give this, I don't know. I give it a 5 out of 10. Not really the pattern's fault. It's more a fault of my use of elastic and use of yarn. But otherwise it fits nice and it looks good on me. I also forgot to mention the size. I'm pretty sure I knit the size 2 or 3. The next shirt I have is this one. It does not have a pattern. I just kind of winged it. And it is knit out of Lion Brand's Truboo, which is 100% bamboo. This yarn is absolutely a dream. Not to work with. The yarn was a nightmare to work with. It's very splitty. But look at that drape. I don't think you could possibly get anything drapier. And it is heavy. It does have a lot of weight to it, but it is so absolutely dreamy. The shirt, however, I do not like the fit of. I struggled with this a little bit because I made the V too deep. So when I originally picked up the stitches around the edge for this beautiful I-cord, it was way too low. It was way too low. A little bit too scandalous for me. But I was like, not to worry. I ripped it out and I picked up way fewer stitches. Well, I picked up way too few and it was like bunching and it was like at a weird height. It wasn't very flattering. So I ripped it out again. Guess what? I made it too deep. And then we did it again and it just feels like it's at an okay place now, but I still feel like it's maybe a little too high. And I just don't like the amount of positive ease it has. I feel like there's way too much positive ease. It is very wide for my size and for such a drapey and wide neck. I don't know. It doesn't fit how I envisioned it, which that's sometimes how it goes when you make up your own pattern. Sometimes it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it. And you know, that's okay. But as I was trying it on for this video, I had a thought come to me. I was thinking, this might actually be a very nice nightshirt. It's super smooth. Like it's not going to have any weird friction against the sheets or anything. And it's like drapey and loose and it's bamboo. So it's like a nice natural fiber. And so I did. I wore it the other night to bed and it was delightful. I want more. I want more. I want tank tops and t-shirts and long sleeves in this yarn to sleep in. It is fabulous. So as a shirt I would wear out in public, I give it a 3 out of 10 because it just doesn't look that flattering on me, I feel like. But I give it an 8 out of 10 for sleeping in. Things that would make it better is a little less positive ease, because again there's just too much positive ease, and a little bit either deeper or long, like a little bit deeper or just like a crew neck. But we can't change those things now. I mean, I could rip the whole thing out and knit it again, but I don't really want to. So I kind of want to. I'm very serious about wanting to knit more night shirts out of bamboo yarn. I think what I do is have a V-neck in the front and then just a straight across back for the back, and that's positive ease. And I think it would be 10 out of 10. So yes, very pleased with this. So if you're at all wondering about this yarn, it washes lovely. It feels amazing to sleep in. So if you are ever interested in the idea of making a night shirt, Lion Brand Truboo, or any sort of bamboo yarn, it was so good. I woke up in the morning and was like, I think I want more of these. So yeah. Happy accident when trying this on for this video. All right, let's move on. I would like to preface this next section with there are a lot of Caidree patterns and a lot of duplicates. In winter, I don't know why, but in winter, like I wear lots of sweaters and long sleeves. I do not like these things to all be the same. If I have a cable sweater, I like don't want all of my, I may like a cable sweater, but I don't want all of my sweaters to be cable. I like variety. With my summer garments, for some reason, I tend to find a piece that I like and want it in every color. The tank top I am currently wearing, which is not knit, it is from Target. I love these tank tops and how they fit me and how they wear. I have a green, a rust, a gray, 2 whites, and a black. I'm basic. I'm sorry, I can't, it's how I am. So moving forward, keep that in mind. There may be a lot of deja vu, all different colors for the most part, but a lot of the same styles because I've realized what I like to wear, and why make other things if that's what I like to wear? So let's get into it. Let's start with a fail, shall we? Let's get this one out of the way. Okay, so a couple years ago, I test knit the Remi Camisole. Let me show you the one I didn't test knit first. This one I made last year. This is the Remi Camisole by Caidree. It is a 2x2 rib tank top. It is the pattern says camisole, but it's, to me, a tank top. I don't really know what like defines a tank top versus camisole. If you know, put it down in the comments. Please let us know. Please educate me. Anyways, it's a tank top. If I call it the pattern is a camisole, but I'm calling it a tank top. I knit this out of Holst Garn's Coast Base, which is a 50% wool, 50% cotton, in the color black, if you couldn't tell. And I knit the size appropriate for my bust. I'm pretty sure I knit the second size. But okay, why is this a fail, you are asking? Well, it is a fail because it shrunk. It got put in the washer and the dryer, and now it does this weird flippy flaily thing at the bottom that's not very cute in any way, and it shrunk up in length. It is no longer the length I knit it to, because I actually knit it longer than the one I'm about to show you. And yeah, it's felted. It didn't shrink up like inwards. It like shrunk up upwards and like got dense, but it didn't shrink in. I don't really understand why or how it did that, but that's what it did, and it doesn't fit me very well, and I just need to pass this along because I won't wear this as it is because it's uncomfortable on my skin, and it's uncomfortable that it rides up because I don't like to show my midriff, which that will come up again later. The next one is the Remi Camisole that I originally test knit for Caidree. And this one is knit out of Hobbie's Amigo in a gray color. I do not remember the name of it, but it is 100% acrylic yarn. I actually had this left over from knitting something else. I think it was a kid's sweater, and I bought way too much. So I had this just sitting in my stash, and I was like, this will be perfect. It's a DK weight, and we'll give it a try. And it turned out lovely. It is hot because it is an acrylic, but it's really nice in spring before it gets hot, and in fall as it gets cooler. So this is a good transition piece, and I wear it a lot. It fits really great. The only thing I would probably change is going down a needle size or 2, or just having the 2x2 go all the way down, because the bottom flares a bit. Most of the time I wear it tucked in though, all the way around, so you can't really tell. Yeah, for this one, the last one I'd give before it shrunk, I'd give the last one probably like an 8 out of 10, but now it's like a 2 out of 10. This one I would give an 8 out of 10. The only thing that would make it better is if it wasn't acrylic and I could wear it year round, but it is a good transition piece and I really enjoy wearing it. It is gone a little fuzzy. It doesn't have like the pilling, like it doesn't have the little baubles that some yarns get, but it has got a fuzz, which I do not mind at all. I mean, some people knit fuzz into their garments, you know, with mohair. Mine just naturally has it. let's talk about another test knit I did for Caidree. This one is the Soho camisole, and it is originally knit out of Bella Filato's beautiful, beautiful peachy, I would call it a neutral pink. Absolutely stunning. I bought it. I loved it. I wore it a couple of times with it that color. I mean, I couldn't handle it. It was too close to my flesh color. It looked like I was naked. So I over-dyed it this lovely brown, and I really like it, this color. I, again, knit the second size, and it's beautiful. It like drapes gorgeously. It was a bear to knit because it is garter stitch in the round, which means knit around, purl around, knit around, purl around. So I have considered knitting this again, but knitting it flat and seaming it together, because I will not knit garter in the round ever again for any reason. Like a little element or a little thing here or there, fine, but an entire garment, no thank you. Not a fan. Now the only thing I currently have a problem with this garment is the armhole, and this is not a pattern thing, this is a me thing. I don't remember why I didn't take very good notes. I don't have a Ravelry, by the way, with all of my projects, and if I do, I don't do very good notes. I have a notebook where I put my note. I knit this too deep, and I don't know if it's because I wasn't getting gauge or if I just wasn't paying attention and went a little too deep. But I do plan on getting a little bit of elastic thread and putting it in there, and I think it will work just fine. Normally I would rip it out and just re-knit it, but because I over-dyed this garment, like the garment itself and not the yarn, I run the risk of running out of yarn or something like that. I mean, technically I'd be going smaller, so I shouldn't run out of yarn, but just in case, I don't really want to mess with that. So the plan is to get a little elastic to put in the armholes to bring it up a little bit, because it does show my bra, and I'm not a fan of that look. So yeah, I really do like the Soho, and I do plan on fixing it and wearing it way more. Once it is fixed, this will be probably a 9 out of 10. I really like how this fits. I really like the look of it. I would definitely make another one. I just have not gotten around to it, but I would knit this again. So 9 out of 10 once I fix the armholes. Okay, let's see. Let's just keep all the Caidree patterns together and then end with the other two patterns that I have. Okay. I'm gonna go briefly through these just because there's 3 of the same thing. I knit the Sugarboo Bralette by Caidree. The first 2 I'm gonna show you have been massively altered. So the Sugarboo Bralette has ribbing at the base of it, like a 2x2 ribbing from the bust down, and it's cropped. But I wanted to basically take the gauge and the instructions and turn it into a regular tank top. So that's what this is, but heavily modified. I knit this one out of Knit Picks Billow, which is 100% cotton. It is a Aran weight that is a very thick and thin. Yeah, it is dreamy soft, this yarn. It is an absolute dream to touch and to feel and to wear. It is lovely, but I don't like the thick and thin look. So yeah, I do wear it, but I've recently made another one in a similar color that I like more. So same thing again, I altered the Sugarboo Bralette to be more of a tank top. This one is a bit more cropped, but I mainly wear it with some high-waisted pants that I tuck it into fully, so it doesn't really show that it's cropped. But I lengthened this one. This one is knit out of Paintbox Aran in the almond color. Pretty sure it's almond or cream, one of the 2. But I knit that. What are the other modification I made? Oh, I lengthened it, but then I crocheted the strap and then added an I-cord all the way around the trimming. So the middle there is crocheted, and then I have an I-cord that goes all the way around. I do think I knit my I-cord a little bit snug through the armhole area. It fits okay and it doesn't bother me, but to make it that much more comfortable, I would do it a little bit looser. This Sugarboo bralette is knit to pattern, except for lengthened just a little bit in the ribbing to make it longer because, again, I don't do cropped. This one is knit out of some Hobbie's Amigo bulky weight, or it's extra large, I think is what it's called. This is left over from a sweater that I started to knit like 4 or 5 years ago that I found and was like, there's like half of a sweater in this yarn I didn't even know I had. It was a complete and utter fail, so I ripped it out and I knit this. And yeah, the rest of the yarn, because I had half of a sweater in my stash a couple years ago, which I knit my son a sweater out of. But at that time, I guess I just thought I only had that amount of yarn and didn't realize I had a half of a sweater worth of yarn just sitting there. But yeah, it fits really nicely. I think I'd knit more of these with the ribbing lengthened. I did the I-cord for the straps as the pattern calls for. I do think that's one thing I do like my modification of, which is the crochet strap with the I-cord all the way around, just because it adds a little bit more width to cover the bra strap, and it feels like it just adds a little bit more structure. Okay, sizing. I didn't mention the sizing. So for these two, I knit the size medium, and for this one, I knit the size small. That was purely because of gauge. I needed the medium for these ones because the cotton doesn't have a lot of stretch or give. What you get is what you get. This one had a lot more stretch, so I went down a size that I knit these ones. Rapid fire rating, 6 out of 10. 7 out of 10, just a little too short and a little tight around the arms. 8 out of 10. All right, the final Caidree pattern, for those of you who are like, whoa, a little obsessed. They're just basics, you know, just sometimes you need a basic. But the final one is, but anyhow, the final Caidree pattern that I have is the Remi Camisole, and I knit this out of Birch and Lily's Hyacinth, which was very, very generously gifted to me to try out. I love this color so much. It is very not me, but the moment she posted it, I was like, dang, that color is just really cool. And she had asked me like if I wanted to try some of her yarn and to pick a color, and she had other colors that are a little bit more in my wheelhouse, but I just like kept going back to this and being like, if I'm gonna like take a chance on some yarn, why not now? And I did, and I'm so happy I did. It is very bold, very not me, but I still love it so much. The yarn is a dream. It is a superwash merino. Do I have a dropped stitch? No, it was just a pulled stitch. We're fine. It's okay. Anyhow, the yarn is a dream. I absolutely love it. I couldn't recommend it more. It is delightful. The pattern was good. I did alter it in a few different ways. The first way was actually follow the pattern originally and did the I-cord at the hem. However, I did frog that because it kept flipping up and it was driving me bonkers. So I knit a 1x1 rib at the bottom of it. It has not been blocked, so it's cinching in. I just need to take it, and I mean, I could probably do that today. It's like so hot here. It is so hot here. It's been in the 90s the last few days. Today we're at like 80, so it's not quite as hot, but I could just dunk this in some water and pin it and it would probably be dry in like an hour, if that. So, but yeah, it needs to be blocked, so don't judge. The other modification I made to this was I changed the rate of increases on the triangle. I'm not going to give away what is in the pattern, but what I did was I spread out the increases on this side and removed a few increases, so that way it was not so much fabric here. A lot of the triangle tank tops that I see, I notice a lot of like bunching of fabric here, and I don't like that look. It does still have a tiny bit, not a lot, but I would like to think that it has a nicer fit. And because I have a smaller bust for my rib cage, I have a broader rib cage and small boobs, just how it is, and I have like very square boxy shoulders. Having like the triangle like this is going to end up with a lot of extra fabric here, which I really didn't want, so I removed some increases here, and I feel like it ended up fitting a lot better than it would have if I had done just the straight up triangles. Again, there's some changing and some different things that you need to do in the pattern, but I'm not going to tell you that because it's a paid for pattern. But yeah, I think it was worth it to remove some of those, and I will do that again when I make this pattern again, because I do plan on making this pattern again, and thankfully it seems like I made pretty good notes. I actually pulled the pattern out the other day to like take a look at it for some possible yarn, and I went through and looked and was like, oh, look at all these notes. Some of them I'm gonna have to sort out a little bit, but yeah, I really like this. I don't wear it a ton just because it is a very bright color, and it is 100% wool. For summer, I probably wear this most in spring. It's more of a spring piece for me, and a cool summer. So I might take this with on our beach trip because it's cooler there at the beach than it is here. So I'd give this an 8 out of 10. Okay, let's talk about some tank tops that are like this. So the first tank top I have here that has the like higher neck is the Tonight top by Lily Kate France, and I knit this out of some hand dyed wool that I had done a few years ago. It originally was some gray, and I overdyed it with some green, and here we are. It's a merino nylon blend. I modified this pattern quite a bit because I wanted more negative ease, so I removed some increases and stuff, because even with the smallest size, there still was going to be a little bit more ease than what I wanted, so I had to do a little finagling, which is just fine. So I sized it down a bit, and I changed the armhole detail. The detail in the pattern is a beautiful double knit band, but I just did an I-cord, and then I didn't do the neck because I knit my edging too tight, and I picked up and it was just it was too tight of a neck, so I just decided to leave it raw, which I don't mind the look of at all. Yeah, I do want to knit another Tonight top, but following the pattern a bit more exactly and having some positive ease in it as the pattern recommends. I have some yarn actually picked out for that. But yeah, I wanted to see what I thought of that, and I decided it was too much work to try and figure out the math to do that again and whatnot, so I actually bought another pattern, which I'll talk about in just a second, to sort that out for me. But the pattern was really well written and easy to follow. I got gauge. I knit these, like I said, the first size, but added a lot of modifications. I know it's probably not very helpful. A lot of you are probably like, seriously, more modifications, or seriously, again, with the changing things. But that's the cool thing about patterns is you can use that as a baseline, a jumping off point to create what you want. So a lot of times I buy a pattern to use for the base math, and then I'll add an element that I want, or I'll change it to fit my body better. Because again, I've got large rib cage, small boobs, square shoulders, and maybe I want something to fit a little differently. Short torso, long legs, you know. All of us have different body shapes, so it's nice to be able to have a pattern as a jumping off point and then modify it and change it to make it exactly what you want. Which, if you ever have any questions about modifying stuff, put it down in the comments. I'd love to chat about it. I may not be the most knowledgeable on this topic, but I do it a fair amount, and if you have any questions, I can try to answer it to the best of my ability. The final pattern I have is the mini mock neck by Jessie Maed Designs. This one I knit out of Woolberry's Berry Natural Fingering. It is 100% non-superwash merino wool, and this is the colorway Peacock Posterior. This is a colorway I picked up from Flock Fiber Festival last year. For this pattern, I knit the second size, and I did make a couple of modifications, but not a ton. Let's see, what would be the first modification? The first one I did was I changed the underarms a little bit. Instead of just cutting that ribbing straight off, I kind of tapered it, and I would like to do that again, but make it a little bit deeper and more dramatic with my tapering of the ribbing. But I like the way that turned out. It made it a little less like harsh and abrupt. I lengthened it. I would have liked it longer, but I ran out of yarn, so it's not like I could have made it much longer. But yeah, I would have liked it longer, but the this base only had 400 yards. If it was like a merino nylon, I probably would have gotten the length I wanted, but it's just fine. It fits me all right. I would wear this with, I have a new pair of pants, some linen pants that are high-waisted. I think I'd wear it with that, probably more than jeans. The other modification I did was, I don't think this was in the pattern. Maybe it's a modification, or maybe I'm just totally lying and this is in the pattern. But I added a couple of decreases here to move me from the bust portion to like making it a little smaller for the waist area. I think, well, let's count. I just did 2 decreases on each side, so I just decreased 4 stitches. When I knit this again, things I'd like to change is add a couple more short rows to the back. I don't know where exactly I'd add the short rows, but it just needs a couple more. I feel like it could be just a little bit higher in the back. And what else? Lengthen it, but otherwise it fits really nice, and I really like how it fits and how it feels. It's a dreamy soft yarn. I see myself wearing this a lot in fall under like a cardigan or something like that. I feel like this would be really nice. I forgot to rate this one. This one is I'd give it a 7 out of 10. The neck is not my favorite, and the wool is a little bit scratchy, just a little bit. And then this one, I would give a 7 out of 10. The reasons it doesn't make it a little bit higher is because of the length. If it was just an inch or 2 longer, it would be closer to perfect, and the neck hole is just a little too tight. I have to take my glasses off, and I really have to yank it down on because I picked up the wrong way to stitches or something. I don't know, but I can get it on my head, so I'm not ripping it out and redoing it. And there we have it. All of the summer things I have in my wardrobe at the moment. We have some good ones, a few duds, but you know, that's how it is when we knit. We knit things and then we learn from our knitting, and there are definitely some lessons I have learned. There are some things I will implement going forward. I don't plan on knitting a ton more summer garments just because I don't wear them that often. I do wear them though a lot in spring and fall, probably most in fall. I want to knit a lot more like these, like the Tonight top. Like I said, I already have one picked out, like a yarn picked out for that. Another mini mock neck, I have yarn picked out for that, and I'm going to be casting on this week for that. These I wear year-round. I wore this in winter a few times underneath a cardigan or my blazer, and it looked really great. So they're just like, I wear these a lot, so it's a shape and a style that I like. The plan is to implement a few more of those in, and then I do like the Sugarboo bralettes. I feel like those fit really nicely. I would like to add another Soho, and I like that bamboo nightshirt idea. I just want all the nightshirts knit in that bamboo. So out of my lineup, did you have any favorites or ones that you're like, heck no? I'd love to know. And what summer garments do you have, or do you not knit summer garments? Do you wear your summer garments outside of summer? Because like I said, I probably wear mine more in spring and fall, mostly fall. It's that moving from, okay, it's like warm out, and then it's like the layering season. We don't get that too much in spring. Spring is just wet and wet. But in fall, it can be really cold in the mornings. So you wear a tank top with like a flannel or a sweater over it, and by the afternoon you're just dying. It's so hot. So you gotta strip the layers off. So fall is probably when I wear my knit summer garments the most. But yeah, I am looking forward to adding a few pieces to it, removing a couple that I don't wear quite as much. That way they're just not taking up space and they can maybe get worn by somebody else. But yeah, I am happy with what I have. I'm excited about adding new things. Probably won't happen this summer, just life is hectic, but at some point slowly adding and curating a larger collection of high neck tank tops, etc. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe to catch future videos, and we will see you next time. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye.